sir.
Sheriff's Department's on page 57, jail's on 61, and then we'll go back through all the other requests.
IT on the way to.
Well, I texted them, and they,
Oh, well, we may be at a pause again, because we do need to, give us like 1 minute here.
There's hard copies in the budget if you want to look at the hard
we
copy
can
salary,
use that, but it is good to be able to.
but you can't look at them,
oh,
it's easy.
Yeah, you
but
got
they don't get behind.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started, I guess. Page 57. We're starting on your budget, not theirs, I mean, it's all your budget, but we're starting on, deputies not jail. Okay.
Do you want to know the salary sheet that's in the back?
Yes, please.
Do we have a number?
Yeah, that's what we're going to it's it'll be an A, and it'll have a number after, it'll be A 25.
Page 25.
Yep.
Bingo.
Yeah, A 25.
Okay.
A little fun.
I thought the TV came back on when she said that. I'm quite good at this crap.
So Eric, go ahead, I know we have to do this analog, we got the page in front of us.
All right. Where would you like me to start? Is there
So probably best to start with, just your overall overview, which is on 57. And then I would imagine we would want him to dig into salary, which is the majority of your changes, beginning on 825. I mean, yeah, that's fine, if you wanna go that way, that's fine. Well, so the roll, let's just start from up, so your total dollar difference that you're asking for is $5,700,000, almost $5.8 million.
Yes.
That's, so, and the majority of that, there's other things, that's just the first side.
That's just patrols.
Yeah, that's just patrol, jail is 2.8, 2.7, so 5.8 and 2.7, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can go ahead, I just wanted to get the roll up first and then go ahead.
So, with salaries, you'll remember mid-year last year, we did the adjustment into the step scale, and use the longevity for everyone's tenure at the county versus their tenure as a certified police officer or as a certified correctional officer. So what we submitted in the budget this year is putting everyone at the correct step based on their tenure as a police officer. And that's what every law enforcement agency around is doing. If you left the sheriff's office today and went to Galvin PD, they're gonna pay you for the years of experience as a police officer that you have at the county. So that's what we did. Put everybody in the correct step and then get 5% COLA.
David, is it, this is based on that discussion, where is this at, like, comparatively to the, so we do have a kind of comprehensive, salary look right now. And it's up to date, and it does include, I think it's Middle Tennessee inclusive, right?
It's all large entities, including Davidson, Sumner, Williamson, all of them, including, it's all large entities.
So we didn't, my point is, we just like cherry pick, small ones here.
We actually, the smalls are all left out.
Yeah.
They exclude them. Let's see what we got here. They're saying and this is 2023's numbers, they're saying a patrol officer, that's a trainee, a deputy sheriff, for a large entity, the median or the average income is $58,882 a year. That's including Davidson and all of them.
Davidson, we're not comparable to Davidson, because Davidson only mans the jail of their civil court. They don't.
Well, that would have been pulled out, and I'm just saying they're in the inclusive sample from this group.
What do
They include, Burris and Associates, Burris and Associates. The one that did our, no, this one from, it's a new one they sent for, where they send to every entity, I mean, all the counties got a copy of it.
We haven't seen that.
I mean, they only sent it, I don't know who all they sent it to.
So they did not submit us.
No, they sent it to everybody, like me, and I don't know, whole group. They requested everybody's salaries, everybody provides salaries, they sent copies of it to everybody.
When they were, asking these questions, did they ask about benefits and stuff, did they put that into their Apple margin?
No.
So they didn't, straight up no.
They just asked us for salaries, we participated, they provided, and that would be a year old too, so we took the 58 and added cost of living.
So we're starting a new deputy at 68.
We are budgeting the new deputies at step 10. in hopes that we get fire certified.
And where's the new deputy at, David?
This is the mediums, 58, 855. They're just doing the medium across all steps. They're saying the maximum on the scales, medium was 75. But they're saying the actual officers' medium of all officers added together, divided out in 2023, was 58,822.
Hey, Dave.
That's just plain patrol officers. They had corporals and stuff we don't have too, so that made us
Hey, Dave.
skewed it.
Can you please share that document with everybody?
Yeah, we just pulled it
I
out.
don't know who's seen it, I know I have.
Right, we just had it in our files, I was looking at it.
Yeah, if you can share that, please.
Okay. Where were we at? So this is, we applied COLA.
That's the 5%.
5% COLA takes us to, for most of these, if you apply the 5% COLA, it looks like a lot of these are
Yeah, what do we?
50s. I'm on, salary worksheet.
Yeah.
825, it's,
If you look at 50, like right
it's your
there,
first one labeled 825.
if you look right there, that 50, was it 58, 544, and 59 is pretty close to those medians right there. And that's where we would be at in 2023.
But I mean, it is a year, I mean, we have hit some inflation, so it's a year old. I mean, I could see it's a little bit under.
But if we compare it to the 23 numbers.
We're pretty close.
We're right in on it.
Yeah.
I'll disagree with that, and I'll give you an example of Galvin. Galvin's presenting $1 per hour, plus 1.5%, plus percent.
No, I wasn't.
No, we're talking about
I'm just
23
if we
numbers.
had 23 numbers.
That's this
we
number
compare
here.
23 numbers.
Right, it's
As opposed to
23.
comparing 23 numbers to 24. That's what.
Because the email from her says, we are pleased to present the 2023 Burris numbers. They gave it to me in January 2024. So it would have been a 23, so it looks like he's pretty well, that number right there before this year comes in pretty close to market. In other words, after we did those adjustments, we're pretty close to market. There's one you did.
From last, the mid-year.
The one you just did, yeah. That puts you pretty close to
So,
market.
but I mean, there is a point here, like, right, so this is 1 year back looking.
Right.
So, you know, so if we go 1 year back and we assume, you know, everybody's gonna be, you know, we are now where everybody else was in 2023, and we're applying a 5% COLA. Other people, so, you know, I'm not necessarily saying we get quite to where you're at, but it does seem like there is like some level of, you know, we might be like a half a year off, potentially, on the mean. Because if we're 1 year back looking, we're close, I mean, we're close. But, so what were you gonna say about Nelson?
So Galvin's presented, their mayor presented their budget for 1.5%, plus $1 an hour, plus percent.
What's the total, what's their median salary, you know?
I don't. It's very comparable to ours.
Are we losing people to Gallatin?
Not currently.
Okay. Have we lost any, I know that we have, where are we losing to?
Galvin, we also have highway patrol, and they got that huge raise.
Yeah, I know that.
And, we've got what is the Tennessee Department of Homeland Security.
How many have we lost?
One for that.
How many total have we lost?
I don't want to tell you the wrong number. It's a handful.
Handful, okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but we have had people actually.
Yes, and the interim steps that we did last year really helped with recruitment and retention. What I don't want to see is us not do anything this year, and then we just fall back to where we were.
Well, I mean, we're definitely doing the COLA. I mean, there's no question about that.
And that puts us at market, the median, right?
Well, it looks like that's 2023.
You are, this number right here, that we're saying June 30th, which was your 24, is pretty close to what Burris and them said for the median for all the large entities in 23, which would include Wilson, Rutherford, Knox, Davidson. She said Davidson's really not after them, but even Shelby out there, which is larger. And Wilson, includes Wilson, and I don't know if it included Gallatin. I can read you the ones. They said it included Franklin, which should be pretty good. Hamilton, Huntsville, Knoxville, Knox, Chattanooga, Lexington, Maury, Memphis, Montgomery, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, Wilson.
So Franklin this year, for example, is gonna start out at 68.
Franklin's probably the highest one.
Well, let me
Put it in there.
let me do this real quick. So I'm just information finding, like, we can argue back and forth, but.
Well, I'm not arguing, I'm just telling you what.
No, I mean, it's healthy, I'm just, so the total amount, not jail, that you are requesting for salary increases above and beyond the 5% COLA looks to me to be 2.3 million. That's what it looks like, is that correct? So I am, so your page starts, it's labeled A25, is there a symbol A25?
61.
Salary worksheet.
And I can tell what they, and that's a year also, so say,
So if we compare it to their number, we're doing well.
well, but they're also the one you're behind. So you gotta.
I know, but I'm comparing, this is 23, they're giving us
There's
22.
23, that's
But that
22.
includes new personnel.
No, that's right now,
That
that's right.
includes new personnel.
Right, you're a year behind what we're trying to say, so let's kind of look right now, but here's a good comparison since you're trying to look. If we just pull the average patrol officer I gave you earlier of all, 58,822, his average is 61,689, so let's just assume 61,689. So if we take 58,822 times 1.03, those are pretty close to each other. Just assuming there's a 3% cost that 1 year, it would put them pretty close. So he's pretty close to the average, what we would have expect. We took, I want to say 822 times 1.03, say for last year.
So on the jail, it looks like, to include, 5 new corrections officers, that's what you're asking for there. Okay, so let me explain what I'm talking about, guys. What I'm doing is I'm trying to separate out the 5% COLA. That was guys we gave out, I think we have every intention across the board of, and I can't speak for everybody, but I believe that's certainly my opinion, what I intend to support immediately. I think that's probably where a lot of folks are. We're taking the 5% out, because that's not up for discussion. What we're looking at is what's going on above and above. And I'm just trying to get numbers. So it looks like for the sheriff's officers, you're asking for 7 new personnel, for the courthouse and additional, market variations, market adjustment on top of that for a total of 2.3 million.
Yes.
That's for patrol. And then in the jail, it looks like you're asking for 2.7 million, and that includes 5 new corrections officers. Okay.
Jail is what?
2.7.
That's above.
That's above COLA.
That doesn't include any Social Security, Medicare, retirement.
Yeah, that's, so we would need to probably apply 1.2.
Let me show you that we, did they,
We add 60 to the courthouse last year,
We had 5 in the courthouse last year.
we had 5, 6,
If you remember, we told you that. We just paid that.
Well, we did, I think he asked for 12, and we gave 5.
no, that was the SRO.
That was just our,
So, okay.
yeah, so Jimmy, do you want to go back to his averages, just to kind of show you how close they are? If we take 58,822, which is the Middle Tennessee average, we had 1.35%, which was the COLA, the other thing, would bring you to 60,880.77. Their average is 61,689, and there has been some movement in the market. So their average patrol, 2004, kind of backs into that number pretty closely, and that's because me and the us three worked on the averages on an average, so we should be pretty close. So his start number there is pretty close to what it was at that point in time.
Come out with the 5% or use it before the.
Okay, we're trying to, like, if you see that June 30, 2020.
Yeah.
If we take his average there and add 1.035, which we did 3.5% last year, I believe cost of living was something like that. If I take that, it comes up, she just pulled them all, that their average was, after all these adjustments, was 61,689. If you take the average for all these entities and times it by 1.035 for 3, it's going to bring you to 60,880.77. So they're really close to each other. They're like within, what, 2% of each other? So they're really close at that point to market, but I don't know what's changed after that.
And that's the point that you're making, I think, is what, like.
Right, we're not-
going back, and so
But that's
everybody else does.
We think we hit
with
market.
COLA, yes.
We think we hit market before COLA this year, so we don't know what COLA's doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless Eric disagrees, I think we hit market fairly close to this line here.
I think we were fairly close.
And that's what this is saying here, too.
Yeah.
Within 1 or 2%, which you ain't gonna get much closer.
Do you have a comment?
No, and I have, I'm just looking at numbers, and
I have a question.
I'm just making,
I know in the jail.
Certain amount of
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, so we'll wait till we get to that, you just said there was 5 years in jail, we'll wait till we get there. Oh.
Where do you guys want to go next?
Well, do we want to do jail salary and then come back to capital? I think that's probably the smart thing to do. Sure. Let's do jail salary and look at corrections officer, because I'm trying to do your big stuff, and then we'll go over to capital.
So we did the same thing with the jail. Put them in a correct step for their tenure, plus COLA. Now, the 5 new corrections officers, they fall into the jail, they need certified corrections officers, but those 5 are going to be assigned to the courthouse to run the jail downstairs.
So you're at, so this courthouse is expensive.
It's free. It's free.
I don't mean to everybody, I was really thinking.
I didn't vote for all deputies. Well, if we assign 5 corrections officers, we're gonna save us a little money, and we can have another 2 guys certified, so whatever they run down there, if the exact same standard as the jail, and that reduces the county liability.
Is this the transport team
They'll
also?
go back and forth, they can secure your arm, make sure everybody's fed while they're being held, all of it.
They don't put you-
already. No. Well, that's what it is.
I'm sure they,
Transportation.
yeah, the transportation.
Those 5 will be in charge of getting them over in the mornings, manning the minutes of jail, at the bottom of the courthouse, and getting them back in the afternoon.
This is jail number 2.
cost of transport.
What about a van?
We have a man. So, yes. Oh, I should be curious. She'll cost me a material. Our van is decent, I asked him to fill down this year, maybe that comes next year, but I don't think.
So let's move on. Is there any other questions on salary here? Okay, maybe go ahead and talk about capital, that way we talk about vehicles.
All right, capital, we asked for 20 new patrol vehicles, 2 vans, 1 for crime scene vans, and 1 for a negotiator vehicle. Empirically, Gallatin has provided a negotiator vehicle, an overhead van that was retrofitted, it just doesn't work. It's just, we run it to the ground, and so
98.
we want to get a high-rise Sprinter style van, the Ford, whatever it's called, build it out with radios and comms, that way when we're on a scene, it can pull up, negotiators can be in there, and negotiate, and hopefully get these questions. And then 2 animal service vehicles.
So, the 20 patrol vehicles, are those replacements or are those expansions? Those are, what's the, because we're just asking this to everybody, what are the age and mileage of the vehicles that are being replaced?
Do you have that spreadsheet? I have a whole spreadsheet of current vehicles and their current mileages.
Thank you, that is good.
The average mileage of vehicle can be replaced is probably about 140,000.
140, okay.
I mean,
Getting started.
So,
I still think we need a county
are they not drivable? I mean.
Yeah, then David's gotta get that.
I mean, to be,
You don't have mileage, we just got the.
to be fair on some of these police vehicles, 140,000 on them is gonna be kind of, it's a little rougher than your average, even like cops driving around just because of the acceleration and you're doing stuff to it.
it's much rougher.
So,
I mean, my personal truck has 180,000 miles on it, I don't keep driving that. That's not the same thing with a response vehicle. It's just not.
And they idle a lot too,
They
right?
do idle a lot,
They run a
especially if
lot.
they're a K-9 vehicle, they have to idle, but all can't get hot now.
Right.
I'll move on to data processing twenty-three, $659,872. So, $659,872 of that is for mobile data targets. Currently, we use a laptop very similar to what that is using here, consumer-grade laptop control tables. This will allow us to go to a tough book, and when we get the new RMS system, we can use automatic vehicle location, closest to dispatching. The supervisor don't seem to be able to see everyone's at. Moving to the tough books is,
Don't have something.
no, we got consumer-grade laptop like that, control cars.
So you say you're gonna see where everybody's at? I know that Galveston is saying that for emergency, GPS on their people. So now you'll be tracking your people through the hardware and we won't, because we don't do that. But when they submit it, I'll show them. So that, okay.
But there's a cost associated with it.
Oh, I know.
How old, I'm sorry, Jerry. How old are your laptops?
We typically buy 20 a year and just replace them as they go out.
And so are you trying to do a wholesale replacement
Yes.
of stuff, folks?
Do one mass off of, and that price is based off of the statewide contract.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that.
The other $100,000 that request is for server upgrades. We have 4 servers there at the Sheriff's Office. Plans to do 2 of them in FY '25 and 2 of them in FY '26 because they're coming to the end of their life. So the last thing we need is to have a server crash.
Do you have backup systems now?
We have 4 servers there and a backup site, a VR site at the ECC. But each server serves a purpose. And my IT guy will explain this much more eloquently than I can. Our digital evidence is stored on one, our Citrix programs run through another,
How old are these servers? I need,
probably about 6 years. 6? Sure, you know the last time we bought a server?
how old are our servers that we're using here?
Servers take a lot of hits.
I know, yeah, I mean,
It varies. It's through the way.
I think I probably know the answer to this, but what's the downside of using cloud storage?
The cost. It's cheaper for us to have an
Is
office
it
server.
still,
I think,
and it processing that much data?
I mean, you imagine everybody can.
Okay, so it's all your video, it's, okay, never mind, yep, I got
So
you.
you have that
All
download.
the video, all of it, all right.
Because they download it on site. I remember we bid
Got
for
it,
it.
got it.
There was a huge fee for that. They downloaded them all on site because there was a huge
Yeah,
fee
you
up there in the cloud when we did it.
If we can help it, we're not gonna go back and block our body cams, because it's just a terrible.
No, I got it.
Oh, that one you bid, it wasn't good.
Yep.
Moving on, we're asking to carry over the $300,000 from last year. Caliber RMS, I think we're right on target to get it done sometime this FY, but the remaining of that budget will go to upgrade our Microsoft. Like on my computer, I have 2013. There's some spreadsheet that I get from finance, and I can't open this. So upgrading our Microsoft, and that'll include our email system, will go over to a .gov domain versus a .com domain. Animal control. We asked for other equipment animal control, $26,870. That's to upgrade the 3 sets of residential grade washers and dryers for 1 set of commercial grade washers and dryers. We asked for $20,500 for fencing. This will create an area outside where the dogs can go out and play and not bark when you walk into the shelter. Dr. Pisano called it enrichment. It's coded on your capital sheet is $20,000 under other construction sheriff training center. That's to upgrade our interview and interrogation room, new cameras, new microphones. Currently, when they record an interview, the echo and feedback real bad. We have complaints from the judges. Building improvements for the jail, $600,000 for window security upgrades. I think you all remember the 3 inmates that pushed the window out and took off. So we came up with a solution, and essentially we're taking metal plates, drilling holes in them, because TCI standard says they have to be able to see daylight and dark, and covering their windows from the inside with a steel plate. They can't push that out. And then $40,000 area of the sheriff's office, and that's where our supervisors need to be when they're not making rounds, checking all our officers. That'll help ensure that we're meeting our standards and we're doing everything right. Typically, somebody already come in, they're in booking in class by the time they make that stairs.
So when at the jail, how would they, so you're putting a steel plate, like how are they be able to see? We have to,
The standard doesn't say they have to be able to see outside, so they have to be able to tell them, they like those are.
Have a little.
no, that is the definition of like, that is the definition of like mass punishment, right? Like those are the guys who are.
It's called punishment.
So we did check with CCI Director Will Wall, which meets the standards.
I like it too. So can we go back to animal control?
You're in prison.
I know that, around, I know that you and I have been more involved with that, but I don't know that anyone is here. So, back to, I know that we've talked about the vet services on and off, but where are we with that?
So Dr. Fasano recommends, and that's what we'll get to.
I'm sorry, I thought we went through animal control, what's the priority system?
Well, I think we were just talking capital now.
Okay.
That's in a line item. So you wanna go there, or? Then, last two items on capital, jail radio upgrades, we estimate that to be $180,000. Currently, they're using the old patrol radios. They're just at the end of life, we can't buy parts for them anymore. We resorted to buying them on eBay when we did it. And then the jail camera upgrade, the system is original, and it's been patched and added on, and patched and added on, and it's terrible.
Say original, what is the date? Got a date for it?
2004, when the jail opened. We got Pelco encoders. There's been several instances where we're like, hey, we video this internet. Can't find it. It's not there. Camera's down, and no one knows. There's not like a huge alert system that says this camera's down.
Pretty bad in the jail not to have the cameras working.
Yes.
It's like not having a fence.
Yes. Might not have it. And that camera system saves us much more than it costs us, especially in litigation fees, because 9 times out of 10 our guys are doing the right thing, and as you're all aware, you can see the tail being green, and you're not sure.
We know that.
This keeps us out of that litigation.
Oh, I know, people, yeah.
People can see it all.
All right, that's all the capital request. Yes,
So
sir.
what did you say the 2 million for the other equipment was?
That's the jail camera system upgrade.
Okay.
And if I can add something on the jail camera, I don't know how much money we got left in ARPA, but this might, it won't, we have no money, just moving on.
When you go back,
Yep.
they spent the last amount on those.
Good job, well, we
The
could have.
2 water line projects is gonna finish it off.
Well, but, I've got, so here, we'll
I
talk
know,
about,
but it's okay.
we'll talk about this one tomorrow, but,
No, I'm okay.
I think we'll be okay here.
No soup for you, Terry.
David and I have
I'm all
talked
good.
about this.
I'm still on vacation.
So I'm not saying yes or no, I'm just saying that, like, I think we're gonna try to figure out.
We're gonna find some money. Talk for it.
Where do you guys want me to go next? Line items, new positions?
I mean, this is, we've actually covered, I mean, I do big muscle movements, so this is covered. The main things I wanted to point out and argue with you a little bit on was the salary changes and, the vehicles. I mean, I don't know exactly where we end up there, but I just wanted to kind of do those arguments of that.
We really need the vehicles.
You need all the.
Oh, yes, y'all put in last year and it killed us. That's what it killed us. We're still behind because of it. We're running vehicles that shouldn't be on the road.
Why haven't we sold them?
Well, the
You gotta-
surplus, they don't have an ops.
You can't sell them because they'll sell them properly.
Procedures got that ops.
We're having to buy more expensive vehicles.
Yeah, we don't have any sale property right now.
So how much, so 20 vehicles times what is it?
20 vehicles, on state contract this year, there's $44,866.
So all the $900, about $1 million.
And then add $20,000 for the vehicle, the lights, the cages, the keys.
About $1 million.
You gotta buy all that stuff.
It's, 1.297.
So $1 million for the vehicles and how much for the camera upgrade?
2 million.
Is what we're estimating.
Is there any cheaper way to do the camera upgrades?
I don't believe so. And the problem with camera upgrade estimate is that no company's gonna come inside and give us a quote. They know it's gonna have to go to bid. They know they're gonna have to do an RFP. So they're not gonna waste their time to give me a quote from the budget. Right.
What if we, okay, sorry, go ahead.
You've got cars in the county surplus?
The surplus property procedures is currently $7 we do have cars ready to serve us.
Well,
We've got IT equipment settings in operation.
but there, you know, like a police car is not gonna go to another department, so we can bypass that.
We have some, like, old Blue Crown Vics that were employee cars. We have some, I think we have a gold Escape and a black Escape that could go to another department. And I don't wanna do it 3 months in a row. I'd rather just bring everything to you at once.
Okay, cause I was under the understanding that that was all computer stuff that we were gonna see if anybody else, yeah.
But the procedure for how to surplus the rest of our property is still,
Well,
nothing.
if there's something that another department cannot or would not use, let's run it. You know, you can talk to us about that, and we'll make that go away real fast.
You have not because you asked none, Ed.
What's that?
You have not because you asked none.
Well, no, I've asked, I've had out you up there, I just figured we'd get the process set up and then.
Yeah, I didn't know about the vehicles.
Any others?
This includes maintenance.
Are you
Did I
thinking
just
that?
think?
No, I was gonna say we're not, I think we're not on.
I think he's run out of time.
Yeah, that's him.
So, is there anything, what else do you wanna present? So we did vehicles, we did, hit salary, hit vehicles, we hit, jail upgrades, we did IT.
Yes, there's one line that we budgeted for that we can reduce. I budgeted for Caliber to kick in next year, it's not gonna come in until November of 2026. But, so, we can take $65,000 out of the data processing line, the requested increase. So that should leave that line with a total increase of $50,650.
Any other questions?
I wanted to talk about animal control, but I thought we were getting.
We can, I was trying to catch Davis time on some other stuff too. I know we might go a little on this, but if we wanted to ask a little bit about animal control, let's do it.
So,
I mean, we've only had hours and hours work on this.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Deputy credit test too.
So, Dr. Guzan, or when we submitted the budget, we submitted to increase vet services to $140,000, but that was to hire a full-time vet. Dr. Guzan came to her evaluation, and she said, no, do that. Leave your vet services line where you can buy vaccines, have your people vaccinate them, have the vet come and do rabies. Take that money and hire part-time people to come in and run these programs if you can. So what we want to do, instead of have $140,000 in the vet service line, leave that at $100,000, take the extra 40 and put it in part-time, add another 30 to the part-time, so we have 2 part-time people to come and run all the programs that she runs.
And so after this step, we'll get vaccines for all the
So-
animals.
Currently, we're vaccinated. She came in, she did the training, we're gonna have to buy the vaccines, the only one we can't do ourselves is rabies. It's gotta be done by a vet, which is fine, we have Dr. Little come in and do that, no big deal. It will save us tremendously with the new medicine, if they come in cheapest. We're still waiting on the third floor to come in, to vaccinate all of the vaccines.
So, can I ask you, so you're saying leave 100,000 into the vet, that's an increase? That's an increase?
It was at
67.
It was at
Yeah.
57, so going up to, are we gonna get rid of that?
I don't believe so.
Gonna get away?
A written contract with the vet, I don't believe so. And that's not what I'm trying.
So this would include 2 more part-time people, or?
Yes, that's, we're asking to have that other money moved to the part-time line so we can have people come in and run adoption programs, enrichment programs, and volunteer programs, and all the things that she recommended that she can take down.
So do you think you're gonna be able to, get to all the items that she wants? I mean, she's got enough for you to work on for 20 years, I know, but,
I think that we can knock out the majority of the ones, yeah. I mean, it's as simple as making a decision and doing it.
so the part-time people, they're here in
There's one
the
part-time,
clerical? Some in the clerical,
no, they're being a part-time,
in the part-time one.
I don't know where it's at in the machine. There's not.
There's not.
There's not a
Maybe that's not
part-time,
what you use.
there's a part-time employee. So maybe put 70 in part-time animal control.
7. I'm just trying to figure out which one.
It's not in there right now, he's requesting $70,000 right now.
Or,
Anything else?
We're good. Thank you.
All right. We got through that pretty quick, actually, but that's good.
Page 65 5 is consolidated dispatch. Now, consolidated dispatch is between the cities and the counties as a joint venture, and the county pays 32% of the net cost. They reimburse us for 68. The cities do.
So we're covering 20%,
32%.
32%. What page are you on?
They're on page number 65.
We all ready? Go ahead.
All right, so, just take it from the top. Starting with our salaries, we have presented, first of all, we have done a pay study of neighboring consolidated centers and also, single, agency dispatch locations, to see what comparable pay increases or comparable pay, is close to us. We presented that, which showed an increase for basically each position of the ECC. Presented that to our executive committee, and they took that and applied a 6% just to the lowest paid employees, which are our telecommunicators. So 6% just to the telecommunicators. No other increases apart from COLA or any other line. On the sheet, we did see that there were a couple of discrepancies. For example, the director position, we were not continuing to apply any kind of 6% increase on that, so we submitted just $125,000 for that position, since that was the highest budget or the highest range for that position. So on the sheet, you can see that there's an increase on that, so we were concerned about that.
So if you guys send anything back, so that you review these. That's what I said, I'm not sure. So, that's why I'm asking, why we're changing things now.
Just showing 18%, just for the direct.
Why was it called? Right.
So this is, what you're seeing up here, that's not actually what we said, and what you said to us. This is, I think, with a 5% increase, and I thought,
Right.
y'all did that.
The 5 is,
But what she's saying is the director position should only be 125, it's not getting any type of COLA increase.
right, but I mean, that amount, that additional's been there the whole time, you're saying the addition, correct?
No, the additional should be there, the total budget amount should be that 135.
But what's off the cost of living?
Yeah, the cost of living, it's that, just get rid of the cost.
So
of
we
living.
just-
Well, that is, yeah.
Cause there's, we were never told that nobody was,
Yeah, so just take off that, and it'll save us.
I'm whether you had to go to that here.
I mean, it's an 18, almost a 19% increase, I'm just, it's 5%.
Yeah, I mean, even at 125, that's still a huge, much higher than 5%, so we're going from 110, 223 to
130.
We usually go on 110, 125.
yeah, she just dropped it to 125 because there's no COLA.
There you go.
Can I just, so what is the, we're asking this, whenever we see one that's like a bid bump, like what's the,
$9,200 more than 5%.
well, now, yeah, so you're 1,900, so you're 10% more, so 15%.
Well, if that 5512 is 5%,
That's what I'm saying.
there's another probably, what, about 85%?
Well, we're saying the same thing, I'm just putting them all together, but the question I'm asking is like, just what's the, with some of these we find there's market justification, like, what's the, we have some, we have some comparable data.
That's what I'm looking at right now on down this.
I know this is kind of a specialized thing, so it's hard.
They did have dispatchers on here, but I'm not sure if they were the same, let's see.
So this position was approved when it was posted for, applications, the salary range was 105 to 125. So we were just budgeting at the highest approved.
How many people did you get at that, when you posted it?
How many applicants? Was it 72?
Correct. 17 people who applied across the nation.
Oh, okay, so, across the nation? Correct. All right, so it wasn't like you had like 700 coming in at that?
No, sir. Has it been filled at this time? Is the position been filled at this time?
Tentatively, it will be filled, by the end of the summer.
That 125.
No, that hasn't been decided.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way.
Is that one? Okay, so we also wanted to point out the, telecommunicator, on this, it's showing as the dispatcher / radio operator line.
Yeah.
How many direct reports on there for that director?
So it should be showing a 6% increase.
So how many direct?
14.5%.
How many direct reports to that director?
How many,
Direct reports. How many people report to that director?
16?
Direct, so how many is in a total org is what, how many?
3 people report to, well, technically, 3 people report to the deputy director, and the deputy director reports to the director.
So he or she only has one direct, it's just director and the deputy director, and they're all coming in through the. Yeah, here it is, I see it right here.
Correct.
Yeah, the director is still over that whole tree, that whole chart. What's the total number in that whole chart? 50, 55?
That's,
Yes. Plus the part-time.
okay, all right, if I can't, the reason I'm asking, I'm not trying to be opaque here. If I can't get an exact, comparison from this is kind of a specialized role, I mean, I get it. I'm just trying to think about, all right, what's the scope of responsibility, is that $120,000? That's what I'm trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what's your total, how big's your org? That's what I'm asking.
I have the dispatcher answer to you. As of the average across all the large entities, as of 2003, the median pay rate annually for a dispatcher was $51,477.
So where are we on,
It looks like for 2004, you're somewhere, if you pull that,
be 2024?
well, if you pull that 48 and 25 there, Bethany, where you were at. You see where it says, 43,520 and, 2588, if you pull that, that'll show you what the total was. So it's about 46.
So what should we be?
The average, the median for everybody was
51?
So we're a little under.
Can you,
Yeah,
can you
which that's
clarify
their
what you're saying? Are you saying the median for the green group here?
just the
or-
plain dispatchers. There's about 30 some of them.
Dispatchers, regular operators on page 65.
Same thing, because they go to CTOs, communication with the other right there.
This one, okay, thank you.
So we're calling them dispatchers and radio operators.
Remember, that's 2023,
This
though.
spot on your org chart.
Yeah, how many of those are there?
39, that's right.
This is dispatcher or radio operators?
Right, it's not include our part-time.
And that's the one they asked for the extra 6% on. That's the one where they asked for the 5% for all 76 on.
But what it sounds to me like, I'm
I
hearing
can
is
figure out what
that
you're saying.
we may be $80,000
It's those two lines.
net under what we would need to be in order to get those folks to market.
Well, what they did, because I was at the meeting, there's the cost of living, and they asked for a 6% extra just on the dispatch, with the 6% dispatchers. Because when they seen it, they seen something similar to this that they were under about.
But once we're up, are we, I mean.
If you did the 5 and 6, you would probably reach them. Yeah, you'd be back to 2, 3, average across all entities.
Okay.
So we do what they're asking for.
This is the average on all entities, the median, so you
Yeah,
don't,
no,
some reports, you don't know if that's 100%.
Yeah, you don't know if it's all skewed.
If you're around there, then you're probably decent shape for the 5 and 6 coming. And I think that's what their, study kind of showed something similar to what we're looking at right now. Because you guys pulled a bunch of
To
different.
be clear, it's the people answering the phone that are under scale.
Yes, well, everybody was, but in order to.
That's your biggest.
Yes, to try to recruit and retain those positions, the lowest paid.
Let me, I'm sorry, I just want to be clear on this. So we've got 32 dispatcher radio operators.
39.
39.
Yeah, I'd like to know how many.
Okay, 7?
So also, if I may,
Well, they got
we which are the trainers, the supervisors, and then managers, two of the managers' positions, in our, that's it. Were all included in the same line item as the radio operator dispatchers. They were not applied to 6%, so that should not be reflected on this spreadsheet. They would get the cost of living, but, so only the 39 telecommunicators would get that 6% to bring them up to a market.
Are they all paid exactly the same?
The position is budgeted at the highest.
Okay.
They have different levels. They have like a start level and a level that goes up from CT 0 to CT at 9, 8, 7.
So I'm seeing a salary of
That's exactly what I'm getting.
Where you,
77,191.
I don't,
When you divide 3,010,000 divided by 30.
there's some managers in there and people with longer tenures. And like if you look at some of these,
Not the total number.
like right here, you've got operating managers, in the same, like,
Do we have a
there's a
breakdown?
manager in there, so that would be in that same line item, but they wouldn't be, dispatcher.
You have a shift?
Then you got a shift premium in there for the paid extra for,
Do we have a salary worksheet on this one?
yeah, that's right.
Where's that at? That's on
Let me look at the table of contents and I'll tell you.
Can you tell me, like, this had 39 employees, so all of these other, like,
Well, you've got different classifications on there. It is on page,
So this, our total receipts, this is just.
it's on page A30. So basically, they got, like, your, dispatchers on the floor make a certain amount from CT1 to CT7, and then you have additional premiums if they're managers or something else.
So I'm seeing here 49, 47.
But if you look, there's a little amount right under them too.
Oh, and that, so we would add those together.
Yes.
Oh, so we are close.
You're really close to market.
If we did what they're asking for, we would be,
You're gonna hit market.
we're gonna be pretty close, we'll market from last year.
You're gonna be a market on the people that's sitting and answering the phones, or answering their emergency calls on the phone.
Just, what we
Okay,
really trying to.
you're saying if we give us 5 and 6?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at too, I just wanna make sure I'm on the
Yeah,
same page.
we're on the same page. I'm 5 guys now. And it looks just on a cursory read, but if you add those together, 49 plus, 1,100, 49 plus 1,100 is 51, which is market. 55 plus 649, you guys look like you put it very, very, very close, actually. All right, guys. I got it.
And then,
I didn't look at this one as close.
so where are we, and maybe I'm missing the whole thing, where are we on when we're gonna burn off this, COVID hazard?
It's already,
It's gone, it's just like, it just says it here.
where are you looking at that? It's called? That's been gone a while for them.
Okay, it just needs a title.
There's multiple years through there. It's on.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, your historical still contains that, it's visible. Yeah.
That's what I'm at, thank you.
That was removed, not this year we're in.
I know, I was like, why was here, but I see it now.
Thanks. Yeah, keep on talking about, this is kind of general. When we compare, we're talking about just straight salary, not including benefits. Like, where do we net out when you include the total benefits and salary compared to other?
Even when we did this salary survey, what you run into is there's like so many differences. Like, we may pay more or less for our insurance, but our coverage may be more or less. We maybe get more or less holidays, or all those variations, and they're very hard to quantify. So even when we paid to have an individual salary survey done, it did not capture that. And we even attempted to capture that. It's pretty much impossible. That was something we requested they capture, and they still couldn't quantify it. So you got to think about that. So say for instance, for a family, I pay $400 a month, but David's over here and he pays $500 a month. But if I go to the hospital, I pay $5,000, he pays $50,000. It's hard to quantify all those things.
Yeah, I get that, and so what we work with is what we've got here. But, Jeremy and I were just looking at the director, who is gonna go from 110 to 130,000.
Well, it's 25 now, yeah.
Okay, but the loaded cost is 173, almost 174,000.
And that's something we talked about. Of course, some counties option for new employees to have to pay their 5%. That was a discussion back when we did the salary study, because they're saying, like EMS is saying they're having a hard time with employees because of the salary, but some of the other EMS services make them pay 5% on retirement.
There you go.
This one, we don't know, that was not captured in this, so I don't know. We do pay the 5%.
I feel like we provide every benefit of any county we looked at. We
To the
provided
most.
it and did more.
You have a lot of holidays,
And, we have the one-to-one clinic.
that's part of your health, but we do
No,
provide a lot of
It
holidays.
is a big benefit.
It is.
Because they can walk into a clinic, you, broken leg, we got X-ray machine, it's all free, no copay, no nothing, walking clinic.
Right, and the purpose of the one-to-one is not to provide the extra benefit, but to decrease.
Well, I understand, it is good that we have one-to-one, and I'm saying that's good, but if we're comparing to Rutherford County, and they don't provide free walking clinics to average county employees,
That's a real
huge-
value.
and
They may or may not, I'd have to check, yeah.
it is a huge value. But the one-to-one, we think, is saving us in healthcare costs, but it is still a huge benefit that you don't see here.
But when we started comparing insurance, like health insurance, some places actually pay 100% of the single policy, we only pay 80, so there's a lot of variation in both directions. Here, I do say that we have probably maybe the most number of paid holidays. I can probably safely guess that, but I can't guarantee you. The rest of them I can't tell you.
Have y'all lost people? Have y'all had anybody walk?
We have had some small decreases. We're kind of holding steady at about 5 to 7
Vacancies?
vacancies, yes, sir.
So 10% vacancy, somewhere there about 55. And no surges up or down, so I mean, generally speaking.
Not in the last year or so.
Okay. Yeah.
I noticed with the holidays that Rutherford County next door, when they gave the extra holiday for, June, they took away the day after Thanksgiving because they calculated a cost of $1.6 million. So they took away a day instead of adding a day. So when we talk about we do have more days, and if we do look at Rutherford County, they took away their day.
I wasn't picking on you guys, I was just asking general questions.
But you're not necessarily comparing 100% apples to apples, because that's as close as we
I
can.
mean, the best way, I mean, sometimes the best way, that's why I asked that question.
It sounds like we're pretty generous compared to the county, so we're.
On the holidays, some of the other stuff, no.
I have not found one benefit that our county doesn't provide and do better. I'm
Any
gonna get
other
a county job.
You ready to go ahead?
Yes, so as far as the telecommunicator, or the radio operator dispatcher position, we are grateful that to bring that position up to market. We are concerned, however, with compression between that position and then the next couple of positions above that. It would only be a matter of cents between those positions to be a dispatcher or to move up to a trainer. So it's just a concern that we have. Just wanting to note that.
All right, any others? Thanks, Sean.
Okay, done?
The next one is on page number 62, and it's E911. And one thing to note is they are a standalone separate entity, and they reimburse us for all the costs, and they also give us additional 20 for IT and space and other small items that they receive.
So this is a net.
Net 20 positive, because they do pay for a little bit of the IT service we provide and utilities and.
It's all your paper. I mean, you're actually a profit center.
Well, we provide things for it, but they don't cost us anything.
One thing I do want to reduce, and not add, just that I might not have communicated this with you effectively. So on the director's salary, the 3% on the additional, that should be removed from the additional. And then the cost of living, or to have that 3% or whatever the county issues for cost of living, whatever is listed. The cost of living will be 3% or whatever you give, whatever at least.
Eric, do you have an orange chart? Yeah, I'll pass it out.
It's hard to pass out.
There's one with the 4.
Oh.
You find it?
It just came out the same.
This is, no, it's right.
This is
This is what,
Is each one of these?
this is his. I just don't get copies because I.
Yeah, Christie would be the other one.
Let me fix that.
General session, I'm sorry. That's what I think, I thought you got, the way you Sorry, I thought you guys were done.
Yeah, you gotta eat.
General session,
Follow that one.
general sessions is on page 50, and if Beth can pull up the first,
Thank you, Judge Blanton, for being here. What,
he's got three sections. The first is general sessions on page 50, and we got the salary for general sessions request on the overhead.
alright. Judge Blanton?
As to the salary, I've asked for a $2,500 increase for my assistants. Neither one of them has ever had a raise. One that has been there for at least 9 years in that department, they've never had a merit raise whatsoever. It's all been cost of living. They work, one of them did, she worked all through COVID. They, unlike a lot of departments that were shut down, the police were not shut down, the general session was not cut down. They received additional pay. That works out to about $1 an hour when I'm seeking for pay for both of those people. Take $2,500, spread it over a year, I'm asking for basically $1.08 raise, merit raise for both of these positions. You'll notice, on over a little change in the actual cost. Part of that is going to be reflected from the increase in pay that I've asked for, but also because, last year, midway through, one of my administrative persons, we took on insurance for her husband in the last 5 months of this calendar year. So that factors a little bit in the overall increase, because that will go up in the compensation at the end.
Okay.
The rest of that is just, a projection of, the county's already got the cost of living increase for the judge, and then whatever the county, you told us to build in for the cost of living for the county. The only thing different is I'm asking for, that increase in pay, merit increase for both of my assistants.
So bottom line, you're asking for $30,000 more.
I'm asking for
$30,000.
basically $30,000 more, and that's, a lot of that is, some of that is savings from last year, like, I came to you all month before last on the copiers, where we've been paying $180 a month per copier. We're gonna pay $80 a month going forward, with a new copier. But we tried to make it as lean as possible. But I did increase some of the expenses, in various areas, because we know we're gonna need more, paper and stuff when we move. They told us, because we're gonna have to order new stationery with a different address on it, things of this nature that we have going out. As far as the general sessions Division 1, that's it.
One thing to note, the sessions judge is set on statute, so that one's not really in play at all.
Thank you, sir.
The next one's page 56 for probation, and Mrs. Browning will put the, salary request up on the board. It'll go to everybody.
I am asking for a new position. Typically, probation has been a profit center for the county, and we pay for, departments pay for itself. I have met with Chairman Hyde as well as Mr. Loring, regarding this matter, explain my process, but my thinking behind it. One of the, what I want to do is promote, one of the existing probation officers to be the director or the manager of probation, to handle the day-to-day operations, personnel issues that they have that can be handled there. And then I want to bring on an additional probation officer. The reason for that is that the new person would keep a small caseload,
but that person also will take the training, and we're gonna take, right now, all the thefts, shoplifting, theft classes, those all get shipped to an outside third-party, probation, company. And none of the thefts are kept in-house at the county, because we don't offer a class on theft. Part of this reasoning is if the new director, whoever it might be, can be able to teach, qualified to teach that class, and then we would bring the theft classes under this umbrella to offset the, we have hundreds of thefts every month. And that just by being able to teach the class and on theft prevention, the theft class, he'll be able to come under our umbrella, and we'll be able to pay for that new position as well as the increase in the new pay increase for the director.
So that'll be a net savings.
Yes, it'll be a net savings.
Can we get the total cost out there, Beth, and look at his probation fees? Because
Yeah.
it brings a good point, we probably need to bring up his probation fees. Can you go to the right, see how much it costs? Can you go to the right? The new position costs you $65,267, and historically, the
Is that
probation,
loaded, David?
that's total. And as the judge says, they've been shipping these off, so you're probably gonna bring in more than that, so we need to look at the fees and see how much the judge feels comfortable with. And we'll
you have them on use for probation fees plus the class fees, they pay for all the materials, so we're not out of anything. The other issue, that I've asked for, currently, probation only takes cash or check or money order. And so they're out there at Judge Howard Allen, as you know, out in, as we call it, out at the shopping center. And so they have to be bonded in order to be able to transfer that money to and from the bank. So when we move into the new facility, the new courthouse, what I want to do is I've provided in here cost. It's going to cost us a total of $331.25 for 2 credit card, debit card machines to put at our desk there at the new courthouse, so that they'll be able to pay their probation fees with their card. We accept it. It will not cost the county a cent other than this initial fee to purchase those items. They will automatically be charged at 2 or 3% to the credit card company. They'll take that off the top and then send us what is our fees. It'll be at 2 or 3% will be in addition. It's much like the cards use now. But that will also cut down the amount of money we're having to transport to and from the bank. We're hoping.
Well, how many checks bounce?
We usually don't have a problem with checks bouncing with probation, because they know that checks bounce through.
They don't have a lot of
Good
money.
standing.
We don't hear about it. I haven't seen any. Can you go back to the?
You wanna go back to jail?
I just want to ask, I just want to be clear of what you're saying. So I'm going to give you $200, I'm going to, you're going to charge me $202, right?
$204.
Right, I'm just making
You're
sure.
paying the fee.
That's what happens with the clerk's office
I know,
right now.
that's what I want to make.
When you do your, tags, it works the same way.
The CMS had it, you know.
Can we look at probation, or probation fees?
There is one other thing I wanted to ask. I was going to
Copy.
allow you to know. We have been at $40 for monthly probation fees since 1998. Okay? I made an executive decision that was unaffected the first of calendar year, first of the fiscal year, to raise our fees to $50 a month. That's what everybody else pays around here. That's what the private company charges. And instead of $40, I'm going to go to $50, which will be an additional $10 for each person coming on monthly probation fees. So in addition to taking on the theft classes, we're also going to raise our fees. I think $10 is probably.
Thank you for that executive decision.
I just decided, hey, this is what we're going to do. I want to raise those to $50.
That's probation a flat 50, or does it have other add-ons?
No, it's just flat 50.
So we're talking about a 25% increase in the
Right,
cost.
we're gonna have 25, you're gonna have $10, but then they pay for all their materials. If they have a DUI class, there's a book that goes with it, there's a theft class, that goes, they pay those. But you may buy them on the front end, they're gonna buy them from
And what I'm saying, you're saying the general probation fee right now is $40 for everybody, and you're gonna change it to 50, so you're gonna be a 25% increase in existing plus this new person, so we're probably right now, last year it brought in 600,000, so 25% is 600,000 plus the new person he's bringing in. What do you wanna do? That's about 850? Just safely, what, 850?
825.
I think 850 is probably low because you're 25%, you're gonna be 25% of 600 plus they added the new person, it's about 70,000 plus five plus. Plus, yeah, I think 850 will grab you.
So what are we spending on fees, probation fees?
Our probation fees right now are $40 a month.
You charge people.
Yeah.
That's what I charge, we charge the probationers $40 a month. We're gonna increase that to $50 a month, starting July 1st.
I'm sorry, the thing I was asking about is the outsourced, classes, what?
Outsourced classes is, in addition to county probation, there is a private company called PSI. They take a lot of our multi-level DUIs.
Right.
They take all of our Hispanic, because we don't have an Hispanic probation officer.
Right.
So all Hispanics, right now, all Hispanics, all theft classes, all multi-DUI people, all go to PSI. And they do a very good job. I don't have any problem with them. I'm not trying to cut them out of business, but I see an opportunity where we can have more say-so, and it pays for itself.
And what do we spend on them a year?
I couldn't tell you if they're private.
Okay.
What's happening right now is we are giving up the fees. So notice this $50 an hour was 40. They're getting all that to do these things. But he's bringing in the new person. The new person's going to keep all those in house where the court can have more control on it too. Because he needs to he has one more. He has drug court on page 50, but drug court is paid 100% by DUI and other fees for grants. And we're showing a deficit of like 28,000 on it. However, we think by the end of the year, they usually turn in enough money to cover that.
It's all covered by grants. It usually comes in. Our grant, one of our grants is offset from what our normal grants are that expire June 30th and start July 1st. We have the highway safety grant that doesn't come in until September the 1st. So there's always an offshoot for about the first 2 months of the fiscal year until the highway safety grant kicks in, and then it backfills what they've spent to that point in time. And that's renewable every year, like clockwork. The only difference I wanted to bring to you all is one of our employees is going to take the insurance this year. I don't know if y'all did y'all get that information yesterday or day before? One of ours who has been on team care is going to take the county insurance this time. She has children, but they're not moving the children. She's just for herself.
Just make a note about it.
We'll get that.
That's the only issue. I think I did the same thing with the copier for recovery court. We got them a new copier that's $100 a month less.
So, Judge, you've got a pretty substantial decrease in the assistant in recovery drug court.
If the grant comes in and out
Grants
each year.
come in. We switched people. One person in one of the grants was maxing the salary out, and so another person that was in the other grant was nowhere close to maxing out. So we basically switched those positions, just how they're paid. One coming out of this grant, they moved to the other grant and took the other person out of that grant and put him under.
Yeah. So you've got a net savings of $10,000, which is great.
Any other questions?
I wish everybody did that.
Thank you, sir.
I would just ask for your prayers. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Page 53 is general sessions. Judge Howard is back there.